All right, now we're going to talk about the early warning signs of potential abuse. These are signs that I think that you should look for. I'm going to give you a little brief description after each one. Too much too soon. As in the narcissist world, that is called love bombing, and it means that they're pushing for instant closeness. They may want you to move in right away. They may want your key. They may want to see you every day during the week. That's moving too fast. It's not giving you a chance to digest it. It's not giving you a chance to understand it. And it may feel like they're sweeping you off your feet because that's what they want it to feel like. But you have to understand your boundaries. And if they don't respect your boundaries, if they don't like you saying, I think I'm going to stay home tonight. If they don't like that, that's a flag right there. Boom. Note, not so good. Okay. Confusion. Sounds so simple. Confusion. They change their guidelines. They change the expectations. So if everything is going and you're on a path of seeing them 3-4 times a week, and then it's gone. Maybe it's twice, maybe it's once. No explanation. It's sort of like, well, you kind of got used to this. Maybe it's been a while. Maybe they've got a key to your house or something. And then they change it without discussing it, without saying he didn't have time or whatever. These are signs. If he's intrusive and controlling. This is a big one. They generally want to control you. They want to know where you are. So they're very interested. And that is kind of showing that they care so much and they just want to know where you are. But in reality, it's controlling. They want to know where you are, and they want to make sure that there's no one there that they could be jealous of, possessive of. They tend to get very jealous of people and accuse you of flirting or even having relations with somebody else. And the reason they do that is because they are. And they're just projecting. Isolation is another one. When they insist on spending time with you instead of you and friends, right? Because a normal relationship would evolve after the initial dating, lovey-dovey stuff into something that you bring your friends in. Your friends start to check them out. Before you get to the next stage, you're vetting them, and your friends are trying to see if they like him too. So isolation, if he just doesn't want to go out, if he wants to keep you home and watch TV because it's so romantic and all, but in actuality, it's a game, and he's trying to kind of isolate you so that when he starts to abuse you, you've got a whole lot less community that can help you. If they're prone to anger, anger is a big thing that can get out of proportion quickly. So if you see little, drops of the mask where they get anger at the valet parker, or they get angry at the waiter, if you're starting to see that just means he's capable of doing it to you as well. Unknown past and respect for individuals. If they have not treated their previous partner well, and this is the hard part, if they talk badly about them, if they degrade them in any way, chances are he'll do that to you too when he's done. That's a game that they do. Now, it's hard to judge that because I am divorced and I know what my ex-husband told people about me, but I also know that he was crazy and I told shit about him. So, who do you believe? It's a really hard thing. But if you can find out what their respect for other people is, I think that you will be in a much better place. If they're self-centered, always want to do what they want to do, and maybe you suggest something else and they just don't want to go, they're ignoring your wishes, and that is actually abuse. I mean, it just sounds like they're rude, or maybe they're just not that nice, but that's abuse. Double standards. They expect things for you to live up to, but they don't live up to them themselves. They are just liars. Is that in here yet? We didn't get to liars. Alcohol and drug use is on the list because they don't necessarily cause a person to be abusive. We have to understand that it can certainly make things worse. They could lose their judgment. They could get more anger if they're drinking or doing drugs. So that kind of behavior is something you need to watch for. If you are watching them during their alcohol use and you maybe think it's just a little bit too much, then keep that and just put a check next to it and wonder if they blame others, partners, and they never accept responsibility for their actions. This is a classic narcissist thing. This is something that we have to watch out for, because if they're blaming others, they're going to blame you. So be careful with that. They have to take responsibility at some point. And by not accepting what part they had in anything, red flag. Inappropriate sexual behavior or demands. Of course, they have their own way of making it all seem so wonderful, but if they're making you do something you don't want to do, that is also abuse. The most important thing is to trust your gut and your intuition. If you feel uncomfortable, be really careful. Take down a list. Make yourself a journal somewhere safe that you can just say, this didn't feel right, so that if it happens again, you can go back and look at that. I think documenting it for yourself is really helpful because it makes you not think you're crazy later on. If you find yourself making excuses for your partner with your friends, well, he's this, or, oh, well, he went through a bad divorce, so that's why he's this way, or if you feel that you have to make excuses for him in any way, and men or women, then that's not a good sign. You should never have to make excuses for somebody, because that's not how a real relationship works. They abuse you, manipulate, intimidate you to gain power, and that is their game. So these are just some of the things that I've just learned, and I hope that it's helped. Obviously, I'm reading it, but I am so passionate about understanding my life that I'm hoping that reading this will help yours.